Here's a man wearing his sensible hat. He's just saved himself a fortune on company car tax. And he's loaded now, so bought himself an expensive watch. That's because he recently bought the Lexus IS300h, which is something he feels very pleased with himself about. He's also very pleased he didn't buy the same car as everyone else, like a copier. He bought this with his head as well as his heart. And so as a result, he can travel in first class, even if it is up and down the dirty M62. And the thing he's going to be most pleased about is that he will arrive at every meeting like he's just got out of a warm bath. And that's because of how peaceful this car is to drive. And that's where our journey begins. So, like most cars, it has 3 driving modes: Sport, Normal and Eco. So I'm going to basically put it in Eco, which means it uses more of the electric motor and doesn't use the 2.5 litre petrol engine. And I want to show you this just because it's very, very quiet. Watch this. How restful is that? I'm abundantly tranquil right now. The only thing you can hear is this futuristic sort of whistle. But that's kind of like being in Blade Runner. Yeah, this is like the future. No, it isn't. But it is quite good for playing a new game called Let's Creep Up on People. Look at this woman on the right, the blonde. She's about to dangerously step out into the road, oblivious of any traffic. Look at that. Pfft, criminal. Lucky for her, she spotted some shoes in that shop there. Right, okay, so sport mode. Right, so into sport. Launch control to... Oh no, wait, it hasn't got launch control. Okay, so I guess you just have to push it and go, right? Okay, let's do it. Well, that was unusual because it didn't change gear. At that point, I got the manual out and realised that it has a Cvt Gearbox, something that a non-Lexus driver would find unusual, but everyone else doesn't. So, let's talk about something else that you do understand, like the steering, because you like that. This morning I was trying to think of how to describe the steering, and I was trying to think of some adjectives. So I first thought of sublime. I thought, well, I'll say it's sublime, and then I thought, no. And then I thought, well, I'll just say wow. I'll just say wow about it. And then I thought, well, I can't do that because I'm not 8 years old. So I've gone for exquisite. Now, that might be a bit much, again, for this car, but it is. The way this car steers is possibly its strongest point. That and the quietness. You just want to turn the whole time. Anything that involves turning, you like doing. In terms of the handling too, I was absolutely surprised. I don't quite know what I expected. I don't know if I thought it was going to be rubbish, but I certainly didn't think it was going to be as good as the competition. I thought, well, this is just going to be embarrassing, but it isn't. It's absolutely brilliant. There's no crashing over bumps. There's the right amount of firm and the right amount of comfort. And there's a lot of comfort. When you go around corners, it doesn't bend and wallow. Then there's the 224 horsepower. Okay, sure, at first, when you first drive it, you'll be like, well, it doesn't change gear, that's extremely odd. But after a couple of days, I have a feeling you'll probably get quite fond of the way it does that. And so I asked myself the question last night. I thought, if I had to go from London to Glasgow and choose one of the cars in this segment, you know, whether the 3 Series or the C-Class, Volvo, Mondeo, A4, I think I'd choose this. Well, you say that, but didn't you also say that you couldn't live without the connected drive? Or that your favourite gearbox is the S-Tronic DSG gearbox from Audi? That is true, but there's also this.
Voice recognition is not available. Telephone is not linked. Check the telephone before using this feature.
Right, well that told me. There's also a power button thing here. So this is the equivalent of your engine start-stop. And you push the power button on and you get the Lexus logo here and the nice IS logo, and then a tiny little ready. But other than that, there is nothing to tell you that the car is on. So you push into drive. Oh, you can actually go, so it is on. It's just a confusing thing. Again, very futuristic though, right? So, if it was company car time for you, and you had to choose, you've got one that's really good at handling and it's got the best sort of infotainment system in the world. You've got another one that makes you feel wealthy, like you've done well. Then you've got one that makes you feel all modern, like Iron Man. And then you've got this. I'll leave that one up to you.